Hi, this is Coralla at CorallaFicklin.com, WelcomeNetwork.com, iStudyGuides.com, iStudyCards.com, Pedience, where you can get all my writings, including my books.com. Pediance, P-E-D-I-A-N-S. Okay, so I've looked at pronunciation in my videos. I've looked at minimum pairs, consonants, vowels, idiomatic expressions, a number of things. Now I'm going to look at something a little bit different. And it can be slang, it can be standard, how one word can be on many very different levels in English. Right? A word such as D-O-G, dog. Dog can be just the name of an animal. And you know, I see this when I'm talking about, in which one word can be standard English, informal English, slang, and even vulgar, depending on how that word is used. You'll see this especially when you're talking about taking the name of an item or a color or a food or an animal, and how that animal or food, the meaning of that item, the animal, the food, the color changes depending on the context. Dog has oodles of meanings. We have about 5 sets of cards, and you're only looking at dog. And we're looking at dog as far as its meaning is concerned, different ways to say dog, expressions with dog, sayings and proverbs with dog. Let's start. First, I start with what is a dog. So dog, all right, and there's a formal way to say dog. Dog is the standard way. That's what everybody knows. But you can also say canine or can, and that's from Latin, okay? And a canine is a dog which works for a living. He is not normally treated as a pet. So a canine is a dog that works for a living. For example, a dog that works with the police or works with the army. Okay. So, by the way, when I'm looking over here, I'm looking at the web page where the cards, where you can get the cards. The cards are available. All right. I'm going to be skipping around here. Okay. Sometimes you will hear dog, and people who try to be, people who are, we say fancy, and you go pinky up. That means people who are very fancy. They want to speak a higher level of the language. They won't say dog. They'll say chien. Chien, and chien is dog in French. In English, anything in French is considered at a higher level. So people will say, mon chien. Okay. Now, dog, one extreme is chien, which is French. Another extreme would be very informal. As informal as I'm going to get on this tape. Pooch. Doggy, and doggy can be spelled with D-O-G-G-I-E or D-O-G-G-Y. I don't like people calling my dog a pooch. He has a name. You know, people say, do you have a pooch? That's an informal way of saying dog. Okay. Now, a derogatory way or insulting way of dog. Now, we're still talking about the animal. We're not talking about the human being yet. You can call the dog a mongrel or a mutt. A mongrel or a mutt is a dog, and you can't tell whether it's a German Shepherd, whether it's a French Poodle. It's not purebred. It's a mixture. So if the dog is a mixture of everything, that's when you call it a mongrel or mutt. Now on the streets, now this is slang, you call them a sooner, S-O-O-N-E-R. And a sooner is a dog. This is more street English. A sooner is a dog that one day when you see him, he looks more like a German Shepherd. Maybe a week later or a couple days later, as he's growing, he looks more like a Cocker Spaniel, because you can see that the dog is a mixture of all different kinds of dogs. And for example, here's a sentence: my dog is a mutt. I'm glad that he's not a purebred. He's not a French poodle or a German Shepherd. And a mutt usually can get at the dog pound for almost nothing. Dog, now when you're talking about a dog that is young, right, he's still, as I say, a baby, you can call a young dog either a pup or a puppy, P-U-P-P-Y or P-U-P. My dog is a puppy. He is so full of energy that I can hardly keep up with him. I'll keep up. Now, here's a problem. And you will hear this if you look at dog shows. The name for a female dog is also a vulgar term for a female. But if you look at dogs, if you go to dog shows, they will use this name. And the name for a female dog, but I will be very careful in using it, I'll be very, very careful, is a bitch. That's the name of a female dog. Okay? I am not talking about a woman. But a lot of times if you want to insult a woman, and you hear this a lot, you call her a bitch. Okay? So the formal name for a female dog is the term bitch. But I'll be very careful using it. I personally do not use it, because what people are thinking is not, oh, there's a female dog, she's talking about the female dog. They will hear the vulgar term, in their ears they will hear the very vulgar term bitch. Okay. Now a dog is also a human being. That is, you call a human being a dog. Calling a human being a dog can be slightly bad, good, a strong compliment, or a big insult. It all depends. So that's one word. Calling a human being a dog can be like naughty, sort of bad. It can be very insulting. It can be complimentary, or it can be good. Alright, let me give you an example. Dog. Now I'm talking about a male. And I'm talking about a human. A scoundrel, a villain, or a rat. And other words that mean the same thing, synonyms, would be good for nothing, a bum, a man not to be trusted. So they're calling a man a dog is not very complimentary. It's bad. So you can say he's a dog, you can't trust him. He's a rat. He is good for nothing. He's a bum. He's a man that cannot be trusted. So their dog is not good. Okay, dog can also be, oh, these are both curse words, so let's leave that. He can also be someone who is crooked, someone who's dishonest, who's vile, contemptible. These are all synonyms for dog, human being, normally male, and not very complimentary. I think in the next video, because I'm not going to have time in this video, in the next video I'll continue talking about dog, but going from very bad to meaning something somewhat complimentary. So this is Corrala Ficklin at CorralaFicklin.com. Yes, at CorralaFicklin.com, WelcomeNetwork.com, iStudyCards.com, iStudyGuides.com.